our episode 2. Okay.
Yes.
Yes. So everybody that's coming back, I want to welcome you back to Tactical Business Coaching. Today's mission is to dismantle that pressure-filled, anxiety-driven launch now. I need to launch right now mentality. It's just sweeping the entrepreneurial world. But here's the sit rep. I don't know if you knew this, but according to QuickBooks, 33% of adults are planning to start a business this year, 2026. So that's a 94% increase, year-over-year increase, okay? That's going to be a lot more competition, more noise and more urgency for people to just launch before they're even ready. So here's the challenge, okay? Most new founders are launching from a place of panic, right? Not clarity. Just like you just said, right? It's okay. You haven't found out yet, but they're just kind of rushing into it. Don't rush into it. This is a marathon. Okay. This isn't a rush, because too many people are rushing in to like try and crush that business. They want to just make it and do it and become it.
Make that money.
Exactly. Make the money, but there's no defined offer, right? There's no operating rhythm. There's no customer clarity. There's no mission. There's no plan for sustainability, no plans for expansion, nothing to sell. Okay. There's a lot that has to go in to making your business besides just, I got a great name and I got a logo. I'm starting a business. It's like,
I'm gonna make this stuff.
No, guy. No. Check it out. That's right. Don't worry. Don't worry. I know there's going to be a rush and there's going to be an influx of businesses starting, but you know what? Breathe. We want to breathe. We want to just take a deep breath, right? You ever seen someone take a breath? It makes you want to take a breath, right?
Yeah, you just did and I just did. Yeah, you did it. And I was like, oh, that looks good and relaxing.
Yes. People are launching because they feel behind, not because they're prepared. Today, we're going to fix that. We want to get into this. We're going to show you how to launch with clarity instead of chaos, and how to build a business that's stable, intentional, and mission driven from day one. Okay. This is the point for today, because too many people are starting, but they haven't started out with this yet, right? They're just like, let's go. Let's fucking go. Do you have any experience in this? I know that you do. I know that you got some kind of history and experience with it. Cause you know what? In the beginning, I did the same thing. You know, when I started another business. We talked about it before. I wasn't thinking about any of this. Were you thinking about all this stuff when you started?
No. And I actually had a name and a website and a business card all done for my company, went to an event, came back and blew it all up and started again.
Yes. You see, but that's exactly what we're trying to help you out here with this experience.
Yes.
We have done it. We've known other people that have done it as well. Preparation is where you need to be. You need to prepare yourself. It doesn't mean that you're not going to start this year. Okay. I'm not saying that.
But be strategic.
Yes. Be strategic and tactical.
Yes.
Be
Tactically strategic, strategically tactical.
Yeah. You can be both, right? Because guess what? Our last episode, what did? We wrapped up on the solopreneur and
micro teams.
That micro team. You can do this. We're all going to be able to do this, but we need to be ready. Just be ready with these things. Yesterday, we were talking about organization, getting yourself ready with all the tasks that you've got in front of you. Now, this is for the people that are going to be starting out. They're like, okay, I want to start now, right? 94% increase. Fuck, Jess. Fuck.
That's a lot. It's a lot. And I
think there's a lot of businesses starting.
True. And I feel that those individuals really are thinking about the end goal, because I meet a lot of startups and they always say, well, I want to make a lot of money. I want to sell a lot of products. I feel that there's a market for this, but they're not connecting the dots from A to B to C to D throughout the process. So, which brings me to our case file for today, which is the pressure launch founder, which is incredibly common. This is someone who sees everyone else launching and thinks I have to do it now, because we do that with social media and inundated with messaging, keeping up with the Joneses. I have to do what everybody else is doing. I have to get this out there now. But the reality is, once the toothpaste is out of the tube, you can't put it back in.
Yeah.
The mentality of, if I don't start now, I'll miss my chance. So they rush, they build a logo before building a product, they create a website before having any sort of clarity. They launch an offer before understanding that their actual customer, like who they're selling to, they think everyone will buy their product, which is not the reality. And within 90 days, they're overwhelmed, they're underpaid, questioning everything. They want to give up. And honestly, a lot of them do. So this problem isn't ambition, it's strategy. So they launch based on emotion and not a plan. So that's what we're going to talk about today.
Yes.
How to not do that. Do the opposite. Do opposite George if you're into Seinfeld.
Yes. Remember, this is the theme. Everything is fine. This is fine.
Everything's fine.
Like it's on my face. This is fine. You know what? That's the thumbnail right there.
Yes.
This is fine.
With our faces on the dog.
We just want you to be ready because look, we want everyone to succeed. And you know what? I take this. I got some advice. It wasn't good advice. Okay. This is perfect, dude. It was not good advice. Okay. This is when I was first starting out, like a year and a half ago. And someone was like, "Oh, you're gonna start another podcast?" Dude, everyone's got a podcast. Damn. I was like, that's sunk in. That's stuck in my head. Not in a bad way, but in a thinking way. But I love that. I love that somebody said that because it led me down that rabbit hole. It led me down that path of thinking, is this person right? Is this just going to be just another podcast? Is it just another thing? There's so many out there, right? And then I thought, you know what? No, there's not. Because I've gone out there. I've gone to YouTube. I watch. I try and see what else is out there, what's fresh, what's new. Now, even though there are a lot of podcasts out there. Let's just say there's 1 million podcasts. Okay. That's a pretty realistic number. Let's just say there's 1 million podcasts out there. Guess what? There's still billions of people watching. That's still not enough podcasts. Okay. Right. To like cover all the things that people are interested in. And then there's so many other nuanced on top of that. Like maybe there's another tactical business coaching style podcast out there, but they don't like the way the people, but they don't connect with the hosts. They don't connect with those individuals, or maybe the topics aren't exactly quite ready, right? Or not ready, but exactly what they want to hear talk about. You know what I mean?
Yes.
This could cover those things. There's not right now a podcast for everyone. So this brings me back to, we can all have a fucking business. Everyone can have a business and sell whatever they want to sell. We just want to help set you up. And now if someone's going to say, "Oh, you should open another business, another website, another social media site, another podcast," yes, you can. You can do that, but you have to be ready. You have to be ready with what's your offer, what's your operating rhythm, right? What's your sustainability plan? What's your plan for expansion? Somebody asked me this, dude, what if you had an angel investor community? He's like, "Dude, I love you. I want you to be out there everywhere. Here's $1 million." I'd be like, "Fuck, I don't know what the fuck to do with it." Right? That was back then. I was like, I wouldn't know. So this is the problem. You have to have a plan. Now is that going to happen? Probably not. The probability of it is probably not, but it could. So you have to have a plan. What is your plan?
Or even I often consult with startups and say, think about the way you're going to structure your company. Do you plan on selling it at any point? Or is your company just literally because you enjoy it, you want to make money, you want to put money into retirement, that's your goal? Because those are two very different paths. If you are going to start a business with the ultimate goal at the end in 10, 15, 20 years to sell it, you have to build it a certain way versus I'm going to be in this because I love it. You know what I mean? Like those are different end goals, and that foundation that you're going to set up, very different, but plan it. And if you don't ask those questions in the very beginning, you could find yourself 10 years in business and not sellable at all.
And what's there to sell? Like, what? Here it is. Okay. There's selling things, and then there's selling us. Now you're always some way we're selling ourselves. We talked about this. We talk about it all the time. You are selling yourself. But for companies like yours and mine, this is a little different because you're not just selling a thing. You're not just selling a product. I'm not just selling this.
Correct.
Right? We're selling us for reals. Like,
well, we've turned both of our brands into having us be part of it.
Yes.
Yes. That was a strategic decision that both of us separately, ironically at different times, and then came together, which was why this works, have decided to do that. But that was a strategic, tactical decision.
Yeah. This is tough, but it doesn't have. It's only tough if you just start off and you don't have any of this planned out. I just have the colors I want. I saw something, somebody did something, and I want to do that. Right? Like somebody asked me, Rex, how do you like? What are you doing? I want to do. And I'm like, no, you don't want to do what I'm doing. I'm doing something completely different. You're a completely different coach than I am. You have to do something completely different, right? You have to do you. Like put your. I think you're great, as a coach. So I think you just need to find out what is best for you. And it doesn't always have to be the Nike just do it model, like just do it and see what works and what doesn't work. You can do a little bit of that, but if you find out all this stuff about what you're doing, your mission, right, your focus, what you want, who are you, put yourself out there as a coach, put some case files out there, what has worked for you, then it could work. I mean, this is just in coaching. You have to put yourself out there. Unless you want to go work for corporate America and go be a coach for, professional coaching, executive style coaching stuff. But that was never going to be a choice for me. I didn't want to do that. I wanted to put this for people like us. Okay. Not for corporate America. They've got enough coaching. They've got enough money. They've got enough power and influence. I want to bring coaching down here to us, and not down here in a hierarchical way, but down here because it's another layer of humans. We are not exposed to it. They've been exposed to it forever. That's why they're so fucking successful, because they've had coaches their whole life. I promise you, go look it up. Tony Robbins has a coach. Oprah Winfrey has a coach. Hugh Jackman has a coach. All these really successful people, they have had coaches their whole time. Y'all just don't know it. They don't advertise that like out in the world.
Which is part of the myth, right? Because those big brands don't talk about how they got there.
Right.
It's like the Wizard of Oz. But the reality is they have mentors, they have business coaches that they've asked for help. They've asked other people's opinions and taken that information in.
Yeah. So I know this is a fact that they have had coaches. This is maybe not the only reason, but it has been a very influential reason on why they are as successful as they are. And I want to bring it to us, to people like us, the blue collar, the working person, just helping them if they're unhappy or they're unsatisfied with what they're doing. Let's get you somewhere else, man. Let's go. It's possible. Just like we said about earlier about the poverty thing, man. You don't have to be in poverty. You're choosing to be in poverty right now. I was in poverty. I'm not anymore because I made moves. You have to make moves. You have to create action because it's not just going to happen on its own. Okay. No. It's not. You have to do this. So if you want to start this business, just like 94% people are going to, 94% increase this next year, you can do it. And I want you to do it. You should do it, but you should be prepared to do it. Don't just submit your name to IRS and the fucking local, state commissioner and be like, okay, now I'm ready. You're not ready. You're not ready. And it's just it's not like being a parent where it's like, dude, you can make all the steps and you're still never ready. You can actually be ready to start a business and be ready for that one customer.
Right.
Because there's a formula.
There's a formula. And I would say if you are going to copy or take anything from anyone else, I would say it would be systems. With technology, there's so many platforms or systems, apps, programs that you could put in place to make things easier, right? Like don't recreate the wheel if you don't have to. For example, like Sharkapalooza, it's a city festival that we're planning. I tell everyone that we meet with, they'll say, well, what do you want to do? I'm like, well, how did you do it for XYZ? If there's already a system in place, I don't want to have to recreate that. We're already recreating the theme and the actual purpose of the event. If the process of how to handle street closers or barricades, the stage, the best location for the stage, if all of that's already a thing, if you have a plan for it, let's just duplicate that. We don't need to recreate it. What we are recreating is the actual details of it. So I think as a business owner, if QuickBooks works for your business, implement that. Don't try to find something else or do notebooks or Excel sheets or something weird. Just use QuickBooks.
Yeah.
Like there's simple things that you can implement to make your life easier. Copy those things so that you can use that extra time to figure out what is making you different and what your identity is for your product, your service, or what you're selling.
Yes. I love it. I love that. I don't know if y'all know this, but Airbnb, they launched with clarity, not the chaos way that like most people are just doing. And I'm saying most people, I'm putting myself in this bucket too, because I did it too with my first business.
Oh, I'll be in there next to you.
I launched it with chaos too. As soon as I got out of my job, I was like, boom, let's go. And all I did first was I started with my name, the marketing, the brand, and all that stuff. And I pushed that. And that was the only thing I pushed. That was the only thing I concentrated on. Okay. But Airbnb, they launched with clarity. Okay. They didn't start with just a massive platform. They started with a clear problem. Everybody knows who Airbnb is, right? Okay. They had a clear problem, a simple offer, a defined customer, and just a fucking scrappy MVP. Okay. The mission that guided every decision, they didn't launch because it was trendy. They launched because they validated the need and they tested the model, and then they built clarity before scale. So everybody knows what Airbnb is, right? They weren't like Coca-Cola, it was just like huge and everything. They started out very, very small, but they had intention. They had a clear problem. Everyone fucking uses Airbnb now, right?
And now there's other companies that are Airbnb, but they've copied them.
Yeah, they just copied it. They just went, hey, you know what? This is great. Can I have the name? Yes. Okay. They found that people could use a piece of their house because everyone has houses, and you can make money also just by owning your house. Dude, that's amazing. Can you believe that? You can just use your apartment, your condo, your house, whatever, and just make money off of it. And it doesn't have to be like a lease, to where it's like the whole year, because maybe you want to still use your house. They found that little thing, whatever that little thing was, which was like people don't always want to fucking pay $300 for fucking, hotel or a shitty ratty motel. Like, ugh. They utilized everyone else. And now everyone can use your place for like a mini, hotel. It's beautiful.
It is beautiful. And over time, they have, I don't want to say up their game, but because that's not the right phrasing. They've basically, increased the functionality on the site. Look at COVID. Prior to that, there wasn't the cleaning fees, but now that's an extra service, security settings, things like that. So
Right.
they continue to expand the business and listen to their customers on both sides, both the ones offering their home up for someone to rent and the people staying there. It's kind of like Uber. As an Airbnb user, you have a rating. So someone could say, yes, I want you to stay at my home, or sorry, it's booked.
Yeah. So this is a huge key takeaway. Now, when I started my last business, you said it earlier, and I did exactly that. I did exactly that wrong thing. I started something because I thought it was a good idea. Because I thought it was a good idea that I could do it, and I thought it would be a good idea for me to do it. So a lot of that was ego. I think it was ego maybe in the way. It wasn't like me doing, science and, statistics and, some actual business analysis. It was just me saying, I know this is awesome. I'm going to do it. No. Is it needed? First of all, is it even needed? Not by you.
Or because you saw it on a TikTok video.
You're right. Right. Is it? Here's a tough question, because is it needed it's a too broad of a question, because is it needed by everyone? Okay. Is it needed by most people? Because what I thought, yeah, of course it's needed through my experience with business, working with, management, higher management. I don't call them leadership, because this was a leadership business. And I did a lot of work, a lot of research, a lot of analysis, Jess. I know everything there is to know about leadership. And it kind of hurts me when people just call everyone leadership. I'm like, no. You need to earn that, motherfucker. You need to earn that title.
It's an earned title.
Leadership comes with a huge weight. Right now, you're a manager. Everyone is a manager until you're proven a leader. You don't just get that title. You earn that title. I have probably worked with a shit ton of people, management. I could probably call one, maybe two people leadership. Otherwise, they were all managers. They didn't meet it. And it's not that hard to meet the requirements. It isn't. It's not that hard to be a good leader. Yeah. It just takes what we all don't want to do. A lot of time, a lot of sacrifice, and a lot of fucking balls. It takes balls to do the right thing, to say the right thing, to say what needs to be said, and to do what needs to be said. And maybe you need to, give some tough love. People don't have balls.
Also acknowledge when you're wrong. Acknowledge that you're human.
It takes balls to do that.
That's a whole nother episode that I think we're actually going to do. But balls. Yes, it's going to be a balls episode.
I want to say the things that don't want to be said, man. That's why Bad Coach Rex here. Okay, guy. This isn't, Christian Boy Rex. This is Bad Coach Rex. I'm gonna tell you how it fucking is. And this is life. This is how it is. Sorry, all of you managers out there. You don't have, you know who you are. You don't have the balls to fucking, okay, forget it. Let's get off. This is getting off track. Here. I can go on a rant. This is a serious subject for me, just so you know.
It is. But going back to your ego comment, I feel that a lot of people that title themselves a leader, it's the ego in them, and they're not necessarily doing the work to be what it takes to be a leader. But those that are leaders end up in that position because they don't intend on doing it necessarily. It's because they've had those skills and they're working on doing the right thing and have been lifted up to be a leader. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yeah. But you know what I learned, though? I learned a few things. Yes, I learned a lot about myself, a lot about my own ego. I learned a lot about people and what they want. And just because it's a good idea, just because it's needed, and just because it's right, doesn't necessarily mean also that you're the one that has to do it, or you're the one that can do it. And I don't mean can as an effort or work. They, and I mean people, may not want this from you. You know what I mean?
Yes.
They may not want the service from you. Now, maybe because you haven't built yourself up credibility-wise, maybe people are looking at you and still judging, because the people are still out there. They still see you and they're like, you're doing that? You, people have their expectations and their own like standards and like what things should look like or sound like. And sometimes if they look and sound like you, maybe you're not the right person to do that. Maybe you don't have to be the fucking producer, director, and star of the show. You know what I mean? Maybe this is something that you need to get somebody else on board who fits the fucking mold for what it is you're selling. Maybe you need to get someone on your team and your tribe as a salesperson to represent your organization. Maybe it can't be you.
Yeah. You know I was just going to say, a lot of that, a good example is personality types, in the sense that introvert, extrovert. If you are an introvert and what you're trying to do is a very extroverted job, hardcore sales, you just might not have that type of personality to do it. I know people that could sell ice to an Eskimo. That is not me. I know that.
It's hard to be a closer. It's hard.
It's hard. And there's different sales tactics. I sell in a very different way, and that could be a whole different other episode. But there's people that just innately have that in them. But if you are very quiet, reserved, don't like to interact or put yourself out there to set yourself up for a business that is putting you in that light, might not make you successful.
Oh, Jess, it's tough. We are not trying to discourage people out there, but we are just trying to let you know that it is a tough road, but it's only tougher when you're not prepared. So let's prepare them. We got a tactical toolkit ready for them.
Yes, we do. And so the first one in our tactical toolbox is all about creating the problem statement. If you don't clearly articulate the problem that you're going to solve, you're not ready to launch. And like we had talked about this earlier, like you said, Rex, a lot of people are good at something, they want to sell something, but is there a market for it? You have to be able to sell. I mean, at the end of the day, that's the whole point of creating a business, is to make money. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, maybe you're just doing it for funsies, and then you're probably not listening to this podcast.
Right.
You're already rich. You make money.
What are you fucking selling? What are you selling? You got to have a product. You got to have a service. You got to have something to sell.
And people have to want it.
People have to want it, and not just you, right?
Or your mom.
Or else you're just another fucking Southern living, selling candles or to your fucking family or whatever. My friend Mary,
friend Mary,
she sells a certain thing, and like, okay, she just sells to just her family members. You want more than this, right? I know you want more than this. So go on, keep going. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. So create that problem statement. It's very simple to do. The next one is a minimal valuable.
Available. Here we go. There's a fucking key. There's a new word again. Every episode is a new word. Valuable.
From Jess.
Okay, so the minimum viable offer, otherwise known as the MVO. Everyone knows it as MVO. We'll just call it MVO. It's way easier to say, right? This is not a full product. It's not a full service suite. It's just the simplest version of your offer that delivers real value. Yes, that actually goes perfect with what we were trying to say about the word. The simplest version. If you cannot, I love this one. If you cannot break down what the fuck you're doing to simplest forms, then you don't know what the fuck you're selling, or you
It's
don't
like
know what you're doing.
it's like the
Right.
elevator speech. They tell people if you get into an elevator with someone and you have a few floors with them, how do you describe what you do to them in a few seconds or a sentence or two? And if you can't do
And if
that and have them understand, you need to figure that out.
you need to figure it out, and you need, yes, yes. If I didn't know anything about coaching, I wouldn't be trying to sell coaching. And if I couldn't explain what it is either, then I shouldn't be doing it. Right.
Yeah.
It's just this the thing with
And
marketing as well.
correct. And on this, it has taken me years to explain what I do. Not because I don't know what I do. It's that I need to be able to explain it to other people that don't understand truly what branding, graphic design, and marketing is, because those are very big and loaded words. So, how do I describe to someone what I do while also educating them on it? So, that might be the other thing, not necessarily that you're not good at it, but how do you explain it to someone else to have them understand? Because you might be saying it, but they might not be educated in your industry to know what you're talking about.
Yes. Now, just because you're good at something doesn't mean you shouldn't probably do it. Right. So
Yes.
man, let me give you a quick example. I was, when I got out of the military, I started working on motorcycles. I worked on Harley Davidson motorcycles, went to school for it, got certified, worked at a dealership. It was something that I loved, right? I loved motorcycles and I wanted to work at it. I wanted to do what I loved as a job. Guess what?
Oh, that's
That
cute.
fucking ruined motorcycles for me, dude.
Uh-uh.
Womp, womp,
Wah, wah.
womp. I actually have a sound effect. I should have just used it.
I don't know. That was really good. I think we should just record that and use that in the future.
It ruined motorcycles for me, man. It ruined it. I like didn't even ride anymore. I wasn't even satisfied when I did because it was a job. I was like, damn, I turned what I love into a job. So just think about that. You may not always want to do what you love. I hear people say it all the time. Well, guess what, fucker? I did it. And it was bad advice. Bad advice.
I remember saying to a really, really good friend how I really love candy making and chocolate making. And I watch all these videos for it. I was like, oh, wouldn't it be amazing if like I owned like Jess's candy shop? That sounds really bad, but you know what I mean? Like a fun candy shop. And he was like, Jess, no, that would be horrible. You would hate it because you'd be making the same candies over and over again. Like you like making what you want to make, not making thousands of the same chocolate. And I was like, oh, I guess you're right.
Yeah. Now I'm sure I'm gonna get some feedback on people who are gonna say, well, I do what I love, Rex. Well, that's bullshit. I'm like, that's different. You're doing what you love. You didn't love to do something and then do that as a job. Unless
You didn't
it's like
turn your
fucking,
you
I'm not
didn't turn
talking
your
about,
hobby into a job.
right. I'm not talking about like, I love kids, so I'm a teacher now, and then now you hate kids. No, I mean, because I mean like that one specific thing, right? Like I like to, okay, here's the advice that I think that people should do. Don't
Bring
do the
it.
thing you love. Do the thing that you're good at, because the thing that you're good at is going to make you a master in the long run, and it's going to make you a fucking profitable because that's what you're good at. You may not be the thing.
Yes.
It may be the thing you love, but it may not.
I actually literally had someone in a conversation, I think it was a podcast interview a couple weeks ago, say that just because you love something doesn't mean that you're good at it. So you might want to start a business based on what you love, but you need to start a business on what you're good at and what's going to sell.
Right. Right. So it has to meet a bunch of requirements.
Yes.
Right. Are you good at it? Then okay, not just because you're good at it, right? Because I'm good at a few other things that I can't make money off of, but but it also needs to meet some other requirements. Do people want this? And that leads us to the
Number
third one.
3.
Yes.
You need to, before you launch publicly, identify the first 10 people who would buy. If you can't name them, you're not launching, you're guessing. It's very important when and this is literally in the branding phases, understanding your end customer, your avatar. You know, who is that persona? This framework removes the panic and replaces it with precision. And it turns the I need to launch now into I'm ready to launch, because you literally know who you're targeting with your marketing, your messaging, how you're going to get that marketing and messaging to them, because there's many different avenues to reach them. So it's absolutely crucial to have that defined.
Yes, man. Yes. If 10 people, just that's all you got to do. Just and like, don't imagine that, oh, yeah, these 10 people would. You need to communicate with them, connect with them, and say, hey, I'm doing this. Will you buy from me? Like, I need
Yes.
almost like a fucking contract for you to say it like that. And these can't be your besties because they're all going to say, yeah, dude, you should do it. We love you, man. Do it. Because they don't give a fuck. There's no stake in the game. Will you invest your time and money? That's a different thing. Because if I invest my time and money in you now, I am rooting for you. And now I'm like, I will buy from you, but you better perform, right? Or you better, because now I've got some stake in the game. It's not just 10 bros.
Right. And with technology, and I'm sure that we'll do an episode about AI technology in general and the proper way to use it and the responsible way to use it. But this particular step, I think AI can be helpful. Whereas if you list out all of the different qualities that your end target customer could have, a certain income, where do they live, what do they like to buy, what are their hobbies, and you put that all into AI and say, can you please create me 5 different personas? It's going to spit back to you literally profiles. Jane, she lives in Nebraska. She's a nurse. She does blah, 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 blah. And that gives you a little bit more clarification on who those people are, which helps round out all of the marketing that you're going to do.
How would you have changed what you did for your job?
Oh,
if you were given the chance to do this over again?
That's twofold, because I very much believe that things happen for a reason, but that's not this podcast. I think that I would have created a business plan and done a better job at educating myself on how to sell, who I was selling to, and what my services were. In the very beginning, I honestly resigned within a few days without a plan and started my own company and said that we were going to do anything and all the things because I needed clients. I needed to make money. And now over the years, that's not the best thing. Big conglomerates can do all of the things. Vistaprint now not only prints things, but they can do logo design and websites and all of that, but it's a conglomerate. That's not me. That's not DesignPod. So I've over the years realized, what am I good at? What is the team good at? What is the niche? What do I enjoy doing? And I wish I had known that in the beginning, and how to sell myself. It's taken me years to articulate to someone what branding is, what graphic design is, that to have them understand it, because the reality is people don't truly understand what marketing is. They hear that word, but they don't connect the dots because there's so many different forms of marketing. I tell people I'm in marketing. They're like, oh, you do social media? And I'm like, no, I actually don't. So I wish I would have had that, and probably a business coach. And I should have invested in that, in a coach that do your research to find someone that aligns with you and your industry. So those are the things I wish I would have done, because it would have, that time in the beginning where I floundered, no pun intended, because I'm the shark girl. It would have been shorter and I would have been successful faster.
Yep, that's exactly it. And it's exactly what I try and tell people, dude, you need a coach because you need to get your shit done faster. Okay, look, here's some real truth here. Most of us are not the first. And unfortunately, in the world that we live in, this country that we live in, if you were not the first, then now you're just catching up. The first people to start businesses in banks and logistics and lines of communication, right? The politics and all these other industries. If you're not the first, like manufacturing, if you're not the first to do it, you're just trying to now keep up. Now, most of us are going to be in that. And now you're starting a business this year. Now you're also even going to be keeping up with the people that are in front of you trying to keep up. You're in back of the line, but most of us didn't start off with this, a tactical business coach that you have right now. Me, her, over here. Are you over here?
Oh, here we go.
Are you over here?
I'm over here. Other way.
This way.
Okay.
Yes. Coach Rex and Jess, we are your tactical business coaches. Okay. I didn't have this. If I did have a resource like this, I would have been listening to it. I would have been subscribing. I would have liked it. I would have shared it. I would have done all those things because it will just get you further, and it'll probably get you further than us, than where we are at, because we didn't have this. She just said it. She would have wished she would have had a fucking business coach along her journey. I do too. I wish I did too. I'm learning as I'm going, but I am at a place in my life where I want to share all this experience and information so I can help people get there faster, stronger, and better. So,
and I want to add to the business coach thing, and I'm not just being biased, because you know me, Rex. If I didn't have anything nice to say, I wouldn't say it at all. Like Bambi. I very much believe that not all business coaches are created equal. You do need to find someone like yourself that is honest. To have a business coach that just says, here's this outline, everybody fits in this box, and everything's going to be happy and glitter and ponies. That's not, I've seen clients have come to me and said, I spent money on a business coach and I really got nothing out of it because they tried to put me in this box and this formula and it didn't work for them, versus having someone that's going to really have real talk with them and say, what are you doing? Who are you as an individual? What is your business? And that's what you do, which I really appreciate, because not every coach does that. And I think that in today's world, with so many businesses and all of the competition, you need to answer those hard questions.
Yeah, you need to be there. And a coach is exactly there to challenge you. Okay, we're here to challenge you. And not because I want to be in charge. I'm challenging you to be better, to make those moves, to create action. I'm not here to be your bro. I'm not here to be your buddy. I'm here to tell you how it is. And some of the my own tribe that I help coach, they hate hearing it. But you know what? It's just like, you know, if you had the parents that were there to like beat your ass to make sure you didn't get into fucking gangs and violence and drugs and all that shit. You hated them at that moment, but you're thankful for them in the end. You're like, man, you know what? I appreciate that. Now you look back, you're like, I appreciate that. It's the same with this. You may not like to hear this right now, but you're going to appreciate it later, because we're literally just here to help. We're just here to help.
Design Pod's 7 years old, and my business mentor will say to me, hey, Jess, XYZ. And I'm like, I knew you were going to say that. I really don't want to hear that, but I know you're right.
Yeah, you're right. Yes. So let's debrief. We broke down why so many people feel pressure to launch, how rushed launches fail, and what clarity-driven founders do differently. Okay, your next step, we're going to complete the clarity before launch framework tonight, not tomorrow, not next week. You're doing it tonight. Right now. Do the problem. What's your problem? Write your problem statement. Define your minimum viable offer. Identify 10 people that are going to be your customers, legit customers, not your bros, your buddies, your friends, okay? These are people that are going to invest in you. They're going to fucking put money into you, and they want you to succeed, okay? Because launching isn't the goal, okay? Launching with clarity is the goal. This is the Tactical Business Coach with your coach Rex and Jess. Ready to execute the mission, and we'll see you in the next episode.